Hi, Thomas Bowden here. You may know me from such videos as a close-up look at Sea Ray MT342 or Glassy Water Landing done badly twice. But today we're going to be talking about tractors. This is a New Holland TC25D. I bought it back in the early 2000s to mow 6 acres of grass. I mow that grass with this Rhino FM84A. It's a 7-foot finishing mower. Right now, the only implement I have is this box blade. I use it to pull the sand up out of the water to refresh my beach. Back in the 2000s, if you wanted to mow 6 acres of grass, and you didn't want to spend half a day on a riding lawnmower, you had to buy a tractor. The first tractor I bought was a subcompact New Holland tractor. It's about half this size. It had a 5-foot belly mower on it, and the grass or my yard was so rough that within the first season the belly mower actually broke off the bottom of it. I took it back to New Holland and they sold me on getting this next size up tractor. This TC25D was the low end of their compact size tractors. The TC25 had a 3-cylinder diesel engine. This was the hydrostat model, which means you didn't have to change gears with a clutch. Basically, it's an automatic transmission. It has a low, a medium, which is basically what you use for most of the work, and then a high, which is basically used for getting the tractor from one place to another at a fairly decent speed. I actually mow my grass in this mode, which isn't recommended, but if you don't press the pedal down all the way, it tends to be able to pull the mower and go at a fairly decent speed. For the low end of their compact series tractors, this did have some nice features. This is a telescoping arm, which a lot of the cheaper tractors doesn't have. It also has adjustments to tilt one side higher than the other for implements like raking and probably smoothing out dirt roads and stuff like that. It came with a trailer hitch. I think they call it a tow bar or a drawbar or something. And back when I had jet skis, I used to use this to put the jet skis in the lake. So what's the purpose of this video? Well, after 20 years it was time to replace my tractor. And if I was going to have another tractor for the next 20 years, I wanted to mow in air-conditioned comfort. So I started to look at cab-type tractors. My original New Holland dealer, which was less than 10 miles from me, over the last 20 years went through a couple of owner changes and lost the New Holland franchise. It became a Mahindra and LS dealer. Those tractors are made in India and South Korea respectively. The closest New Holland dealer was in Ocala, an hour's drive from me, which would make servicing the tractor expensive to transport back and forth. I didn't want a tractor made in India or South Korea like a good American. I wanted an American-made tractor. I went to the John Deere dealer just 30 minutes away and priced out a 33R cab tractor without a loader for $31,000. But the dealer said for the 84-inch finishing mower, which I was using to mow with, I should go to the next size up tractor, the 3039R, for $33,000. The loader was $5,400 more for either tractor. I did not think I would have a use for a loader, but after studying and watching videos and trying to get a trade-in price for my old tractor, I found out that most manufacturers ship the tractor with a loader already installed, and dealers don't really stock tractors without a loader. Also, most buyers of used tractors wanted the loader, which made the resale of my tractor real low. But my price range limit was $30,000, and an extra $5,400 for a loader which I may not use seemed excessive. All the videos I was seeing was John Deere and Kubota, and the comparison between the two. John Deere was better than Kubota, or Kubota was better than John Deere, but not much on New Holland. New Holland, which used to be Ford tractors, used to be one of the top two. I decided to go to Ocala and look at the New Holland, just to compare specs and the cab against the John Deere. They priced out a Boomer 40 cab tractor which had more horsepower than the John Deere and a nicer cabin for less money at $29,000. They did not have one in stock for me to look at, but they did show me pictures and it was impressive. I don't like buying something without seeing it though. I searched YouTube for a New Holland Boomer 40 and found a guy that had posted a 2-part video review of his New Holland Boomer 40. Everything he liked and what he thought could be improved. It pretty much sold me on the New Holland, and I almost ordered one, but the distance to the dealer was a major issue. Before I made my decision, I went to my old dealer near me just to look at the LS tractor. It looked like a New Holland copy from the road. You know how those Asian countries like to copy American stuff, I thought to myself. After seeing the video of the Boomer 40, I had a good idea what the New Holland was, and I was amazed that the LS tractor had the exact same cab and hood shape. After talking to the salesman, I found out the New Holland doesn't make their own compact tractors. LS makes them. He said, look at the frame tag on the New Holland and see the LS at the beginning of the number. I went back to the New Holland dealer, and he was right. I priced out the newest compatible or comparable LS version, the MT342, which just replaced the XR4140, which was the Boomer 40 clone. It got a 2 horsepower increase and other improvements. A newer version of the New Holland Boomer 40 with a loader at a price point of $30,000. I ordered one from the factory distributor and got it a week later.
You ready?
Yeah.
So your first step's gonna be putting the legs down. There's one on each side.
Speaking of which,
They have like a switch here.
yes, I know.
You gotta push this forward
Yep.
to unlock it. And then it's got 3 knobs here. You're gonna go to the middle one. Everything's tight because it's new. You in the middle one?
Yep.
Alright. You got both legs, they're both the same. Alright, you can start it back up.
Oh shit. Something I just learned from you.
Yep. There you go.
I won't get up this time. Get down.
Yeah, go down. Alright. Close that.
So does the bucket need to be in a certain tilt or anything?
Yeah, we're gonna curl the bucket down. Alright, leave it right there. Next step, we're gonna take your pins out. One on each side. Curl your bucket back. Alright, now push down.
All the way back?
Yeah, leave it where it's at. now that your loader's off, we got the tractor off.
Uh-huh.
Your next step, you always come here and relieve the pressure out of the loader.
Uh-huh.
Don't forget to do that or you'll never get those hoses off.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll take the quick disconnects off, and they're color coordinated. So you know which one goes where, and then they got these covers to cover up your nipples and all that stuff.
So when it's like an air connection hose, right? You pull,
Basically, but it's hydraulic, yeah. So
and
you'll pull this back, and that comes right out.
just a little bit of oil drips off.
Yeah, just a little bit of oil, and then you got your covers. And you want to cover them up so you don't get no dirt in them.
Okay.
You got that? You want me to take them all off, or?
And then you just back away from it.
Just back away from it.
And then
always do it on concrete slab because in case it rains, that loader will move on you. You don't want that loader moving on you when you come back.
On a hard surface, at least.
Okay, and then putting it back, you got to drive forward until you line.
That's all along. The long guy's working on you.
Okay.
Yeah, drive forward. Just align your arms in between here on both sides. You get close. When you get close enough, attach these back. And then we'll show you how to put it back on here in a second.
Okay.
But you'll drive up, and then you just roll your bucket back into these holes. And then your up and down will move this, and it'll line up with this. And then we put our pins back in.
Okay.
So start back up. Actually, hold on.
Yeah. That wouldn't work well, would it? Roll it first, come forward.
Come forward, just straight forward. Okay. Now roll your bucket down. No, you want to roll it down. There you go. And then now you fall into your notches. Now act like you're lifting the loader up. See how it's going in the holes? Alright. Put your pins back in.
Okay.
Nothing to it, right?
And then I'll put that pin back in, and then you put your legs back up, and you're done.
All right.
So depending on the surface you're on, you may have to adjust those, say, to the last notch. I've never used the furthest notch, back here. It'll either be the middle one or this one up here.
Okay.
Just depending on the surface you're on. All right, go up. Once I put grease and everything on the loader, it'll ease that up a little bit.
Good.
So that's it.
All right.
The bucket's easy, Tom. I'll take the bucket off when we deliver it. You don't need no tools or nothing.
Okay.
And that beeps. You gotta always put your park brake on or you get the pleasure of listening to that.
That's pushing the brake down and pulling the lever up.
Yep, that's it. The lever's right over here. And again, Tom, I'm gonna go back over all this when I drop the tractor off. Everything here, I wanted you to learn this here.
Yeah.
Because they do it all the time. I can go over all this with you when we drop it off. We'll go over everything in here.
And if you
Okay.
got any other questions, just call us.
Yeah. I'm a mechanic. I'm mechanically inclined enough to be dangerous. If I can't hit it with a hammer and fix it, I don't want to work on it.
All right.
But yeah, I'm gonna finish going over everything, put your radio in, grease it all up, and full of fuel, and you'll be able to work it.
All
What's your
right.
schedule look like tomorrow?
I'm open.
Okay, I'll call you first thing in the morning. We'll see what it looks like, and I'll do my best to get it to you. I mean, whatever's convenient for you.
Okay. Well, I got money for you.
Let's
then.
go take care of that then. Hey, do I have to get out? It's too cool in here. That's nice in here. I know why you want the cab. I wouldn't want to be out here cutting all this without it. I don't blame you one bit.
Well, 20 years of doing it. See what it did to my neck.
Sure, sure. I'll bet it was. Well, hop in here. I'll go over everything with you, how everything operates.
Okay.
Start with operating. I'm going to give you... Hold on, let me grab those out of the truck.
Okay.
All hydrostat tractors are run at 2,000 RPMs minimum or more, okay? You set your RPMs right here. Your ranges are 1, 2, and 3. 1 is low, 2 is medium, 3 is high. Unlike old hydrostats, this hydrostat, you do need to have it in neutral in order to start it. So if it ain't starting for some reason, make sure you're in neutral here. It'll fire up on the first start there once you're in neutral, okay?
Okay.
Once you get it started, as you know, you've owned a tractor before. Most of your work's going to be done in low and medium range, 1 and 2. Set your range 1 and 2. Forward, reverse, pretty self-explanatory. You got a pedal for forward, pedal for reverse. The important thing to remember is to make sure your RPMs are set at 200, okay?
Okay.
That's your radio.
Oh, okay.
They did give you a Sony. We were shocked. Normally it's the cheap, you got this cheap Korean one that we don't understand. They gave you a nice Sony, so
Alrighty.
that's, I guess it's a coin toss what radio we're gonna get.
Okay.
But you got a nice Sony, so that's a good thing. All right, obviously turn the key starts here. You got your steering wheel tilt right here. Headlights, turn signals, on and off are right there. Let me come around. Four-wheel drive is right here, Tom. When it's up, it's in two-wheel drive. You have to come to a complete stop, just like a pickup truck. Go to neutral, push it down into four-wheel drive. Take it back out of neutral, go into operate. It's good you can run your four-wheel drive in grass, clay, anything like that. When you're out on the asphalt, just like any other pickup truck, try if you're on the asphalt to stay in straight lines. You don't want to turn in four-wheel drive on the asphalt. You're going to end up tearing up the front axle, okay?
Okay.
Four-wheel drive, grass is fine, asphalt, stay in straight lines. Take that on and off right here. All right, we have your differential lock right here. When you push down on this with your heel, that's positive traction. Both back tires will spin, okay? Blue lever, that picks your three-point hitch up and down in the back. Your mower hooked up in the back, that'll pick that up and down. This is your float control for back there. Odds are you'll never use that. That one gets used for plowing and such like that. That changes your pitch. It helps it float if you're going underground and such like that. If you hit a root or something, it bounces and goes back to its height.
Is that the top bar?
No, that'll show you in the back. We'll get to that. We're not there yet. Shoot, I'll show you that when we get to the back, okay? This just basically controls your height up and down, okay? The blue lever's height up and down. Green is more pitch. You'll never use it unless you're plowing.
All right.
Okay? These two levers here are for the remotes in the back. They're color coordinated. If you ever have something hooked up back there, we can use that in order to send fluid back to it, okay?
All right.
Turning your mower on. PTO is a two-step process. You have to move this forward. That turns it on. Okay, that basically puts it in gear. That lets the tractor know you're about to turn your PTO on.
Okay.
Move it forward, push, and turn. Once that is pushed and turned, you'll hear it kick on. You'll hear your mower kick on. Then you rev your tractor up to PTO operating speed. PTO operating speed is right where that green arrow is. It's just around 2,500. You want to be at that or above it when running anything with a PTO.
All right.
So your finished mower, the moment you turn it on, you turn it in idle, and then you rev your RPMs up. If you think you're going too fast, your speed's controlled right here and how hard you step on that pedal, okay? The important thing there is to make sure you have your RPMs up, all right? Any questions there on general operation? I know I didn't get any other bells and whistles. That's just operation. I want to make sure you got that. Any questions there?
No.
Okay. Now we're going to get into some of the cosmetics. This is hazards, high beams, and your horn. Your cruise controls here, which odds are you may or may not use. You got enough property, you might use it, but you do have it. You set it like that, push on your pedal, and you have your cruise control, okay?
Okay.
The button I told you never to push. This tractor does have a regen mode. When this light comes on, it'll look like that. It'll come on the dash. Where is it? See it right there?
Yeah.
When that light comes on, that means your tractor needs to go into regen mode. There's a can in there that basically fills up with enough of the soot. Once it's filled up, it needs a warning that it needs to go into regen mode. When that light comes on, you rev your tractor up to 2,000 RPMs. You're already going to have it at 2,000 RPMs because it's a hydrostat. So the tractor will go into regen. It'll do it automatically while you're working the tractor. No big deal. They want you to work the tractor while it's regenning. When the light goes off, technically you could rev your RPMs back down, but you have a hydrostat, so that doesn't matter. Basically, it's going to go into regen automatically for you because you're already running it at the correct RPMs. If you had a gear tractor, that would be a problem. But being that you're already running at 2,000, basically when the light goes on, the important thing to remember for you is don't push this button. This button cancels that regen process. You can do that once or twice, but it's bad for the tractor. Eventually the tractor has to go into regen mode. If that thing gets all the way filled up, you're making the tractor work twice as hard to burn it off. Let it do it every 12 to 15 hours or so. It'll go into regen mode. Odds are you won't notice it. Let it do its thing. The light goes off. No harm, no foul, okay? All right, what else do I got? Steering wheel tilt, as you saw yesterday, right here.
Yeah.
Air compressed seat. If that seat doesn't feel firm enough for you, sit up, crank that a little bit. It'll control how much air pressure is in that seat for how, you know, how comfortable your ride is, okay?
Okay.
You got a seat slide right here as well.
Okay.
And you even have a recliner. It does recline back a little bit. And as I said yesterday, these armrests do change their pitch if you feel the need. If you don't like the way that's sitting, you can change it like that. See how that works?
Okay.
All right. Up there, you got your work lights and your windshield wipers.
And this is a beacon or something?
Correct. Yes, sir. If you were gonna hook one up, unless this was gonna be on the side of the road, there's a hookup for that. You don't have one because it's not gonna be on the side of the road. If it was like a maintenance truck or something like that, one of the county guys had it, they would need it. Not as important for you, obviously, because you're not using it.
And then these.
That fine tunes the RPMs. When you set your RPMs, if you want to just, instead of how sometimes it's real hard to just do it a tick at a time with this, because it's kind of a fluid motion, that one you can just tick it one little RPM at a time. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Odds are that, but those buttons very rarely get used, Tom, on most of our cab tractors. They do have them. It's explained in here as well, as I just explained it to you. You have my phone number as well as your owner's manual.
Okay.
You can see your radio and your air conditioner controls.
Oh, those are fuses.
Yeah, you won't need to worry about that. You got air conditioner up here and your radio to your right.
Okay. And so these vents blow air out. This vent is what, you know what?
I believe that may be for your, that may be for rear windshield wiper.
Okay. Well, it's some sort of vent.
Vent, that's, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Hold on, what's that say? That's a new one. Let me see what that says. Yeah, that's airflow vent. You can see it up here. It shows if you want the air just to slide through, you open it. If you want it to, the air that you have in here to rotate in the cabin, you have it down. That closes it.
Okay. Alrighty then. And what's this thing?
You will never have to worry about that. Those things are if you want to take the top off, have to work on air conditioning and such like that.
Okay. Alrighty. And then
if you want to paint that red, you can. We're not allowed to. We have to sell it with that on it, but I would recommend painting that red just in case someone else gets in here. Because the problem is when the light comes on in the dash, human nature tells us to push the button. That'll fix it. It's the exact opposite thing in this tractor. So if you want to paint that red, unless you're the only user, I'm not worried about it, Tom. I'm sure you're going to be very meticulous with this thing. I'm not concerned if you're the only one operating it. But if you do have someone else in the tractor, you definitely want to let them know that.
okay, so
Come on out. Now we'll go over the front. I know you did the loader. Did you have any questions from yesterday taking this loader off? Do you feel like you got a pretty good...
yeah, I'm fine on that.
The important thing to remember, like I said yesterday, is to do it on asphalt or concrete. As long as you do that, you're fine. The bucket. And we can take it all the way off if you want. You want to turn the tractor on, you literally just pop these two levers all the way up. I get in my tractor. Oh, I know. If the PTO's on, the tractor won't start. You just noticed that. It wouldn't start, PTO was on. Now, I can take that bucket right off. Watch closely. I go down with my bucket. I can back right off it. Now when I want to pick it back up, pick it up, roll it back. Roll it back to throw your logs. both holes and you get it in there real tight, okay? That's it. Can you put it down? And you can go back to operating.
This rod here.
That's your leveling stick. When this, the rod is flush. My bucket is flat, so if I'm going into a pile of dirt, now you don't have to stand up to make sure your bucket's flat. You can tell from looking at this, you can get into your pile and scoop your dirt up now.
Okay.
And that's level when it's flush. Any questions there? You know about the pins taking the loader off. I do want to show you this one. This lever here, or that knob there, that controls how fast the 3-point hitch goes up and down.
Yeah, the other tractor had that.
If for some reason that's not moving, odds are you may have just bumped that with vibrations with your heel or getting on and off the tractor. It's probably just got turned all the way back to the turtle. That means it's off. If you crank it all the way back to the rabbit, this will start moving again. You have probably one of my favorite features that a 3-point hitch has on a tractor. This is wonderful. This lever here will pick your 3-point hitch up and down, so you don't have to reach around and grab around for that lever when you're hooking up your finish mower. You do have the extenders here, as you know, which makes it nice for you. These are the remotes I was telling you about. If you had a top and tilt or something, you need hydraulic fluid sent back here, hooked up back here, you'd run them with those remotes. That's how you control it.
Okay.
Now, what you were asking about controlling the pitch, you have a side link right here. That's for fine tuning leveling. When you crank this, any implement I have, that's going to control my level this way. Okay? My top link, this one does the same thing. It spins. That's going to control this way.
Now the floating thing you were that tilts the implement. What does that actually move?
It's basically
this whole thing.
It's not going to move anything. Basically, what it does is it loosens it. It's a float like your bucket floats. When you float with your loader, and I lock this forward and I'm back grading, my bucket goes along, and if it hits something like an uneven spot in the road, it'll hit it, bounce over it, and bounce back to the level it was at. This float serves the same purpose back here. If I'm plowing or something underground and I hit a root or something, it'll bounce over the root and go back to the level I had it at. That's what that design is designed to do.
Okay, but I thought you said something did the tilt on it.
That's what this will do. What I meant was on a plow, basically, when you have a plow in the ground and you're plowing, you want your pitch of the plow to be real crank like that, and then it'll be bouncing. That's what I meant by the pitch on that. I apologize, I probably just didn't explain it correctly.
Okay, so but the little green, what was it, the blue lever?
That one picks everything up and down.
And the green lever?
That's what I was talking about. That's for your depth or your float back here in essence.
But does it move any of this stuff? It
No.
doesn't? Okay.
No.
Okay. Alrighty, and I guess that little white can there is windshield washer fluid?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And
you know about hooking PTOs up. I know you've done that.
yeah.
50-hour break-in period on the tractor. We've already done we've checked over this thing. That's what we did all day yesterday and some this morning. We checked over it, made sure everything was running the way it should be running, everything's tight. You don't have to touch it for 50 hours, Tom. Use it.
Okay. And then when it hits 50, I call you guys, you come pick it up and
take care of your service. Yes, sir.
Alright. Alrighty then.
You got any other questions for me, bud?
Is there more than one key?
Yeah, she got 2 keys on her. You got 1 ring, 2 keys.
Okay. Alrighty.
You feel good about her?
Yeah.
I know you've been on tractors before, Tom. I'm not as worried about most customers I drop tractors off to, so. Are you finally excited? I mean, I just wanted you to be excited about it. I was worried you weren't even excited about your new tractor.
Well, I gotta take it. Neighbors put the mower on it. I'm gonna start mowing when you leave. I'm probably gonna take the bucket off over there, so I'm just to get rid of some of the.
You got a lot of room. That's the nice thing, Tom. I mean, you might want to just see what it's like cutting with it on a couple passes, see if it's in your way, and if it isn't, then you make an adjustment.
Well, I might put it up high. That way, if I got any low branches, I'm going to hit the bucket before I hit the roof.
Yeah, that's a good move. That's a good move. I've never heard that yet. Protect your cab. That's a good move.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do first.
Okay.
because I got a big oak tree back there that I usually go between the oak tree and some bench thing I got out there, and I don't know if it's going to clear this roof or not. So
so you keep your loader control, your loader up in the air to keep control of them branches. I get it.
Yeah. Well, at least I'll hit that and I'll know to stop.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, that last thing I want to show you, because I forgot, you pop the hood right here. Radiator screen. If your tractor's overheating for any reason, before you give anybody a call, there's the screen on this one. It must come out on the other side. Let's look on that side. Yeah, it comes out this side, Tom. What you'll do is you'll unscrew this here. See how this holds it in place? If your tractor's overheating for any reason, before you call anybody, come out and check this first. It just might need pulled out and blown out with a hand blower, air compressor, whatever you got. Odds are that'll handle your overheating problem. 9 times out of 10, that's usually the problem.
Okay. And is there a dipstick
I
someplace?
knew you were gonna, yep, I'm just looking for it. They put them all in different spots. It's either this side or the other. Oh, that's a... But that's your new toy, Tom. You feel good about her?
Yep.
You got your owner's manual. You have my phone number.
Yep.
If you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call, okay?
Okay. So here it is, the LS MT342. I took the loader off of it. It was just bouncing around too much while I was mowing. I started with just taking the bucket off, but just for better visibility, but it was just too much in the way, so I took the whole loader off. It didn't take very long, so it's real easy. There's my old Rhino FM84A mower that I'm pulling with the tractor. Yeah, this has extra hydraulic fittings for attachments. You can adjust the lift arm with this without getting back into the tractor. And yep, it's pretty much exactly like the New Holland that I saw the guy talk about on that New Holland review video. It's basically the exact same tractor. They put a Sony radio in it. It didn't get too good reception. I tried to listen to my regular radio station and it was kind of staticky. It's probably this antenna that's going sideways instead of going up. I noticed the guy who was reviewing the New Holland mentioned that they should have put the antenna pointing up. The guy who was doing the New Holland review said he thought the front tires were too small for the tractor. I ordered the turf tires, which are usually smaller tires than the agricultural tires anyway. So I was expecting to have real puny tires on the front, but this is a pretty big tire compared to what I was used to or what I was expecting. I guess New Holland puts smaller tires on their boomers than LS puts on their tractors. I know the agricultural tractor with the agricultural tires on the LS that I saw, it filled up this whole fender almost up to the line here. So that's how much bigger the agricultural tires are compared to a turf tire. So, but it's still a nice sized tire and wheel. And they say a 6-year warranty, which I guess is standard with everybody. One thing I did notice, this thing rides like a truck. I was going to let some air out of the tire to have a little bit more cushion, but the tires are filled with water, which is something the dealer did. The salesman actually had to come by again to give me a new kind of upper arm for this mower. The black one that came with the tractor was too short, and I need a pretty long arm there. And so he came by with this one to replace the short one. And then I asked him about the water in the tires, and he said, well, they could take some out so I can, you know, lower the pressure in the tires and maybe get a little bit more cushion out of them. But this thing, with the way they are now, you're bouncing around. I think my particular lot I have doesn't have even though it looks nice, once the grass is cut, the actual ground itself has a lot of little holes and bumps, and you feel every one of them in this tractor. You're riding like you're riding in a semi truck. That's what this air spring seat really helps. But still, I because it was bouncing around so much, I had to mow slower than I normally do with the TC25 that I had. So it actually took longer to mow the lawn this time. Of course, this was the first time I mowed the lawn with this tractor. I'm sure I'll get better at it as time goes by. But it's a real hot 90-degree day in summertime in Florida, and it was miserable outside, and I was pretty comfortable inside with the air conditioner on. I know when I stopped to take the loader off, and first I took the bucket off the loader, and then I had to put it back on and then take the whole loader off. I got drenched in sweat just doing that, and then got back in the tractor and got cooled off again. So I'm really gonna like mowing the grass with an air-conditioned comfort. I think I deserve it after 20 years of mowing the grass in the heat. But it pretty much has just about everything you'd want in a tractor. And like I say, it's almost, I mean, when I watched that review from the guy who was reviewing his New Holland Boomer 40, and then I saw this tractor, I said, holy crap, it's the same tractor. So, and then I found out LS actually makes all the the compact tractors for New Holland. And I managed to get this with the loader for the same price as I would have got a New Holland without the loader. So it was a lot better deal, because a loader's like almost $5,000. Even though I don't really have a use for one at the moment, I'm sure there's sometime in the future it'll come in handy. So that's it. That's my story on the tractor. Visit C-Ray or bowdenslanding.com and see my other videos on YouTube. Oh, here's the C-Ray that most of my videos are about. Anyway, thanks for watching.